Good evening and welcome to another edition of Sports. I'm sorry, the way I see it. Good evening, everybody. I forgot to push the magic button an hour ago, so I was not live or local at that point. But I'm fixing something up right here, right now. So anyway, sorry about that, folks. I was not live. I am now here on YouTube, and we have a lot to talk about tonight on the Way I See It podcast. And my question to you, number one, is are bridges safe in Pennsylvania? Okay, that's the start of tonight's program. Are they safe? Probably not. Pennsylvania has the worst roads in the history of the United States. Pennsylvania has some of the worst roads across the country. And it never fails to understand that you have to fix your roads up. Well, now all of a sudden, the governor here, Governor Wolf, has allocated $141 million extra on top of the federal money that we got from the stimulus or the Biden's new infrastructure plan. He has now found $141 million that he was using to give to small communities or to give to the state police to police small communities in Pennsylvania who don't have police forces. One of them is East Pittsburgh. Okay. All right. They're trying to get these small communities to merge into regional police departments. But the bridges are not safe in Pittsburgh. They never will be. Or in Pennsylvania, on the other hand. The collapses that we saw are going to be the same across if we don't do something fast. All right. But what's sad about this whole thing is, as always, guess what? We had to wait until the bridge collapsed to finally do something. Somebody had to get hurt. Somebody almost died before we do something. Isn't that the norm? That goes on all the time. Yes, it does. And tonight, that's my opening commentary on the Way I See It podcast. We're live here on YouTube. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not used to being on YouTube that much. But we're live here on YouTube tonight. And I want to apologize. It's 7 o'clock. I was supposed to be here, and I forgot to push the go live button. So guess what? We're live now. So here we are. Okay. All right. Airlines being disrespectful to the military. And I have several other topics we're going to talk about tonight. But first, I want to talk about, and I always come on this podcast and talk about some life experiences. Wednesday, it was Wednesday. I was in Robinson Township section of Pittsburgh. I had to go to a special shoe place because I have to wear special diabetic shoes for my feet. So my fiance and I decided we're going to go there. We're going to stop at the store. And of course, you know how that goes. As soon as the weather breaks, everybody's got cabin fever and they got to go out and buy for the next snowstorm all the toilet paper and pop and soda or whatever you call it in your neighborhood or whatever. Some people, and here we call it pop. Some places call it soda or a soft drink. Now, here's something about that I have to say. Why is it that a soda is called a soft drink? It doesn't go down soft. See my fiance here, I'm going to ask her, does Coke go down soft? Well, why is it a soft drink? Tell me something. Okay? But anyway, whatever you want to call it, it's always out on the shelves because, again, manpower problems at Pepsi or Coke. Once again, nobody wants to work. You know how it is. Same old story. You know, like Aerosmith says, same old song and dance. Yeah, you know how it is. Okay? I'm not good at karaoke, so I'm not going to go any further. But anyway, we decided then to go to Golden Corral. Now, I haven't eaten at a Golden Corral in a while, and the reason for it is because the food was not all that great. I used to love their mashed potatoes, their meatloaf. I used to love the food at Golden Corral. But of course, with everything else and most every other restaurant that you go to anymore, the food quality's gotten out of control. And it not only has gotten out of control, it has also become expensive. All right. So we decided to go to Golden Corral because I got a gift card from a friend of mine for Christmas. All right. So being that I got this gift card for Christmas from my friend, we decided to go to Golden Corral and that we were going to make this the last time we go to Golden Corral because the last 4 or 5 times we've been there, okay, the food was bad, the service was bad, something happened. Well, here we go again. Something did happen. Pull up into the handicap spot. Never can get a handicap spot there, ever. Well, I got one that day. All right. So we're pulling up into the handicap spot. And you know when you pull in a handicap spot, I don't know if you're familiar with a handicap spot. If you don't pay any attention to them, they're not hard to see. And they have the little stripe lines to go, and that's actually the walkway, or for someone like me who has a wheelchair that needs to really get in, to do it this way. All right. So what happens is that I pull up, in the spot, put my placard up. My fiance pulls my wheelchair out. I get in the wheelchair, and this car with this young lady and this older woman decide they're going to pull up, and they're African American. They decide they're going to pull up right next to my vehicle. Don't even give my fiance any kind of room if she needed to get back into the vehicle. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. I've been battling a sinus cold for the last couple of weeks now, so bear with me. Anyway, she decides she's going to pull her, here's my Jeep and here's her car like this next to the, and so, my fiance is not going to be able to get in the vehicle when we come back out. Okay. So what happens next is we go in, we eat. Food wasn't all that great. I said to the guy, you're out of meatloaf. You need to fill it up. And of course, the lady, and again, I have no issues with foreign people. Please don't, just because I say something about something, don't think I'm racist or but there was somebody behind there that didn't, as always, don't speak English. Okay. Didn't understand that the meatloaf tray needed to be filled. And I was interested in some meatloaf. All right. So I get my mashed potatoes, I get my vegetables, I get everything I need. I sit down. Server was nice, had a pretty nice experience. Food was too salty, as it always is. But again, I only went there because I didn't want to waste the gift card that my friend gave. Okay. So we go there, we sit, we're on our way out the door. We're going to our vehicle. You ready for this? We get to our vehicle, and there's that vehicle again. No handicap placard, no license plate with a handicap thing on it, right? So, would you know it, here they come. I was getting ready to call the police because I had spoken to the manager before when we first got into the restaurant, and his words to me were, well, I got to call mall security. Now, first of all, the mall is in 6 miles away from the building, but the building's on mall property, okay? So he says, I got to call mall security. Now, in your mind, what do you think mall security is going to do? Nothing. They're not even going to show up. They have better fish to fry. They got shoplifters. They got people breaking into cars. They got all that going on right now. They don't have time to worry about that. And that's across the street from the mall. You have to call the township police. I thought management might have done that, but they did. So I'm getting in my vehicle. An African-American gentleman who was very nice helped my fiance load the wheelchair into the Jeep. Okay. He was even quite disturbed about what was going on with their car. All right. So this young woman says, what are you, the handicap police? Yes, we are. We are the handicap police because the handicap police we need to be. And the reason we need to be the handicap police is because we have people like you who park in handicap spots when you're not supposed to be there. Okay. And this woman is real lucky that I was in a good mood that day, and really, she didn't catch me when I was in a bad mood, because one time I had an ex-girlfriend and her son got in trouble. We went to the hearing in front of the judge, and I'm not going to mention his name. And he said, son, he says to my ex-girlfriend's son, he says, today is your lucky day. I'm in a good mood, because if I'm in a good mood, then I'm going to make your day good. But if I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to make your day bad. So you know what? I was in a good mood that day. And she's real lucky I didn't call the police on and have their car ticketed and towed. Okay? That's a hefty fine. But here's the kicker of them all. The elderly lady says, "Don't you know you should have some respect for us? It's Black History Month." No kidding. Really, lady? Yeah, I know it is. I've done some events for Black History Month. In case you're not aware, I'm a DJ. Yeah, I've done some work for a gentleman who just recently passed away. I did some work for him for Black History Month. Celebrations for Black History Month. I have black friends. Our mayor is black. And guess what? I'm friends with him. Okay? I went through the Boy Scouts. I worship with African American people. Okay? I'm friends with a lot of them. We have a lot of them in my building here. All right? I am not racist. I am not anything, but I don't appreciate the attitude. When you knew you were wrong, is what I get at here. Okay? You knew you were wrong. And if you thought that I wasn't going to say anything here on this program, I did. Okay? And I hope that maybe by some stretch of the imagination, you or your cousin or your uncle or your whatever is watching and passes this on and knows who you are. I hope so. Because maybe next time you might catch me in a bad mood and I might call the cops. And you might get your car towed away, impounded, and a ticket. Okay? Then you're really going to be like, well, it's Black History Month. I don't care. You broke the law. Those spots are for handicapped people who have placards and license plates. That, as always, you go through a lot of hoops to get. Okay? Anybody ever again that thinks that they're going to do that to me again, think again. Because I've had people's cars in this building towed away because they don't educate their guests when they bring them in here. And they think they can just park anywhere they want. Doesn't work that way. That's nothing. Because you know why? You don't care. Only about yourself and your arrogant, ignorant attitude. And that tonight's the way I see it. And every time I'm here on this podcast, if I have a life experience, I'm going to share it with you, whether it's good or bad. Okay? All right. Let's get started with our topics for tonight, what we're going to talk about here. Airlines disrespecting the military. I have big issues with that. First of all, I have big issues with anybody disrespecting our military. Our military people shouldn't be homeless. They shouldn't be on drugs. They shouldn't be, they should be well taken care of, like a king. Like a king. They put their lives on the line. Oh, I know what you're saying. Oh, I know somebody that was in the military and all he did was wash dishes. So what? He was in the military. He wore the uniform. He washed the dishes because he was feeding the people who go out to battle. Okay? That's all part of the concept. All right? Now, I have a nurse who comes in here every Friday and puts Una boots on my legs because I have varicose vein issues and wound problems. Okay? He was in the military 5 years. And I asked him, I said, do you get a pension? Because I was told no matter how many years you served in the military, you got a pension. You know what he told me? No. You have to, they treat you like it's a job. Like they treat anybody in a job. Once you're done, you're done. They throw you out there and they don't care. The VA hospitals are terrible. There's homeless vets out there. There's vets that don't have jobs. They become drug addicts. And we don't care. We do nothing, just like we always do nothing. Yes, we do nothing because of COVID. We do nothing at all because we don't care. And airline employees, I know how they are, especially at TSA. I was a victim of that, sticking probes and probes up my knee braces and everything, making me get out of a wheelchair. Okay. You know, those people need sensitivity training, big time. And I understand it's to protect our country because of 9/11. Just like with COVID, 9/11, we got caught with our pants down. But there's one difference. We fought together as a country during 9/11. We have not fought it as a country against COVID. All right. All right. That's the way I see it tonight about our military. I don't care how many years you served in the military. Once, if you don't become a dishonorable discharge, okay? Let's say, for instance, you signed up for 6 years, but you served 3 on the battlefield, and then you served 3 in the kitchen washing dishes, okay? You should get a pension. You should get lifetime health care from the VA. Any programs you need help with, you should get automatically. And I don't want to hear it, okay? You shouldn't be treated by this country like it's any ordinary job. And that's the way they treat it. And that's not right, and that's a shame. And that's wrong, and that's disrespectful. For the people who are out there battling for our freedom. And this is what you do. Next, are you happy with the SALT public works in your town or your community? Well, here in the city of Pittsburgh, we're behind with equipment. We don't have enough equipment. We don't have enough drivers, which of course is across the country. I saw the public works director on national news from Boston talking about how they don't have enough manpower to cover that big snowstorm that was there. The last big snowstorm we had here was in 2010, and I got stuck in it. Okay. For a while, I couldn't get my car out because of the snow. Well, all of a sudden, I get a tap on the door. Tap, 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 tap. And this lady comes up and tells me she lives down the street. And she says, "You see that big construction bulldozer?" I said, "Yes." She said, "My son works for a construction company, and he brings that home every night or whatever. He's working down the street or down the block. Brings it home every night, parks it on the street." She went around and she said, "Every neighbor's giving me $20, and he's going to come up and he's going to completely clean out this whole street of snow." I gave him $20 her $20 faster than you could shake a stick. And guess what? My street was clean. It did better than Public Works. Okay. You have all these people in this town complaining and moaning and groaning, calling down the mayor's office and complaining. Okay, first of all, everybody calm down. That's number one. Number two, if you've lived in a certain community for 52 years and you said the salt truck has never made it down your street, don't you think you would take some measures to help yourself a little bit? No, I pay taxes, so they should come down my street. Yeah, they should, but if they don't have the manpower or the ability to do so at that point, why don't you just go out and get some salt and get a shovel or call? Well, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. The generation nowadays, they don't want to do anything. Back when I was little, took a shovel, you went around, you knocked on old Mabel's door down the street on your street there, and you asked old Mabel if she wanted if you could shovel her walk, and she'd give you a couple bucks or $5 or $8. Some of them even gave you $10. Okay, young man, can you shovel my driveway? Yeah, sure, I'll shovel your driveway and your sidewalk. And I know people that made hundreds of dollars doing that when they were young. But see, now the current working world don't want to do anything. They don't even want 70, 80, $100,000 a year jobs. They're quitting. We have the big resignation. I spoke about that before. That's disgraceful. And we're sitting there endorsing this thing, and we're giving it media attention. And we're going on and on about it. People quitting their jobs left and right. They think it's funny. I get to quit my job. Yeah. Then you're crying and you're at the food bank that you're starving because you quit your job that you laughed about. Okay? You know, it may appear funny to some, but it's not funny at all. It really isn't. Okay? It's not funny because that's the way it is. That's why there was laughter there. Because you people, everybody in this country thinks it's funny for that great resignation. Okay? The truck drivers in Canada. You know, I have nothing against truck drivers. I love truck drivers. They provide a service for this country. They're the number one reason why things get where they need to be. But when you tie up our supply system and make our economy what it is because you don't want to wear a mask and get shots and follow Canada's laws, that's when I have a problem with you. It's not that hard. I just talked to my dad recently. You know what he said to me? How hard can it be to go get shots? Once again, you're eating into my civil liberties. You're telling me something. The government tells you what to do now. You pay taxes, right? Government tells you what to do now with a lot of things. You do it, right? Or big government comes after you. The IRS will send out a hitman after you. Yeah. Okay? The government's already telling you what to do. You pay utilities. They tell you what to do. They tell you got to pay your utilities. So, but you're going to sit there and watch 900,000 people in this country die because you want to be stubborn and you don't want to take your shots. It's not that difficult, but you make it difficult. But that's nothing. Like everything else of my theme for this year is nothing. Nothing because nobody wants to do anything. Nobody cares about doing anything. And nobody will do anything. They will do nothing. I can't get anything done because nobody wants to do nothing. Okay? I had a supply problem. I was supposed to get Una boots for my nurse that comes on Fridays. The one I explained to you earlier. Okay? The one that was in the military. Puts the Una boots on. Well, the medical supply company was supposed to send me a month's supply. They did. So I called them up. I said, what's going on? They spoke to the health clinic or whatever, you know, where I go for my doctor's appointments. They spoke to them. Now, here's what this lady said to me at this place. I said, oh, I guess you'll take care of that for me, correct? Oh, no, you're going to have to do that. So that means I had to take time out of my day for your screw up and make phone calls. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a medical supply company that's supposed to be helping people with their medical supplies. State welfare system. Okay? Oh, they're never wrong. Oh, no. Screwed me out of something one time. Or tried to. So I called them on it. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. Oh, I ain't doing nothing. You messed it up. You fix it. I mean, I fought with this caseworker. Okay? Nothing. Nobody wants to do anything. That's why our society now is nothing. And when your street is filled with snow and you think about all the nothingness in your whole lifetime or in your world, you think about what I just said on this broadcast today or tonight. We're an hour late because it was my mistake. Okay, I'm human. I make mistakes. I forgot to push the go live button. Sorry. Okay, we're an hour late. You've waited for a bus that was late. You've waited for everything else that was late. The mail's always late. So why can't I be late for once in my life? And I'm never late. Okay? Because you know why? I have a sense of responsibility not to be late. There's people out there that come late to work every day and they still work. I'd fire you. I don't care how many people I'm short. I'll close up before I let you come to work late every day. Okay? This is where we're at now in society, everybody. This is where we are. So remember, next time you complain about your street not being plowed or salted, remember what I said. Okay? We can't get people to work. Why don't you try to go out and instead of complaining about the problem, why don't you help with to straighten out the problem? Okay? My building here, where I live, will not shovel around my vehicle. And I know it's going to be like pulling teeth and arguing and fighting and everything else. So why do I put myself through that? Even though they're supposed to really clean it, it's on their property. But they're not going to do it because of nothing. So you know what I do? I go out and get a shovel and some rock salt. And I have a caregiver, I have friends that will come down and, do what they need to do. Okay? I don't complain about it. I just do it. And that's what the problem is as well. All right. Now, speaking of complaining, I want to know why no one has complained about this debit card situation. Do you understand what it's about? The gas with these gas companies. Okay. I brought this up a year ago on my Facebook page, and not one person has responded to me about this. Because what? You think I'm wrong? Or you think there's something wrong with what I'm saying? Okay. Who gives the gas companies the right, when you have a debit card, to take $55 out of your account and hold it until it clears without your authorization? That's theft. And it's going on all across the country. And nobody's saying nothing about it. It's not on the news. It's not on the Consumer Watch. The FCC or whoever, the people who handle these kind of things, they don't even know about it. But you let it happen, and you'll complain about silly things like bubble gum under the table, or I stepped on a piece of bologna. Okay, you'll complain about that. Oh, my street didn't get salted or plowed or shoveled. But the gas company's stealing $55 from you when you use your debit card at the pump. Stealing, because that's theft. I didn't give you the authorization to take $55 out of my account. You're just taking it. Because I'm a person who works hard for whatever I have, and I don't even work. I don't have anybody paying for me to do this. I do this for free because I have a passion of something that I enjoy doing, and that's this. I've enjoyed doing this for years. I just never got the right breaks. Now I got them. Okay? Now I've been blessed to do this. But what money I do have, and you're going to take $55 out of my account without my authorization and think I'm not going to say something about it? But I don't see anybody else saying anything about it. Because you know why? You're too busy on the cell phone. You're too busy worrying about shooting somebody. You're too busy worrying about getting high. You're too busy worrying about the next drink you're going to have. Okay? You're worried about who I can screw over next. Because of nothing. You don't care. You don't care that you're getting robbed $55. But if somebody robs you out on the street of $10, you shoot them. But you don't care that the gas companies, who are thieves anyway, keep continually raising our prices. We export fuel, and our prices are sky high. All right? Every other country that exports fuel doesn't have this problem. But I know what you're saying, Ralph. You got to go inside, and you got to pay inside. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But I shouldn't have to do that. You catch my drift? Okay? That's why it's called convenience. And now they don't want it to be convenient anymore. So by you having to go into the store, they're getting greedy again. What? You're going to go in, you're going to pay for the 55, or you're going to pay your gas. Oh, I want a candy bar. Ooh, I need to get something to drink. Ooh, I need to get a gallon of milk. Ooh, I need to get a loaf of bread. That's why they do it. But that's wrong. Stealing $55 out of your account without your authorization. And I don't care if they put it back. That's still theft. And you don't care. Because I have seen no one complain about this. I have not seen it on, you know how they have these consumer reporters on the news that if you didn't get your unemployment, well, some of these people are lazy and shouldn't even be collecting unemployment. But that's not my decision, okay? Complaining that they don't get their unemployment when there's a million jobs out there paying well over $20 an hour, okay? But they'll sit at home and play Xbox, okay? Why isn't the Consumer Reporters going after these gas companies about this $55? They have no right to take $55 out of your account, even though they're putting it back in. You don't know that. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have alerts on your cell phone that tells you what kind of money's going in and out, you're not going to know whether they took that $55 and put it back into your account. Are they? Are you? No. That's the way I see it tonight. Spirit and Frontier airline merger. Well, you know my feeling about the airlines these days with this stuff going on. Southwest has brought back alcohol. They're letting you drink again. They had a lot of fights and a lot of carrying on going on these flights. People getting drunk because they got to wear masks. They're uncoordinated. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know how to handle it. So we're drinking instead of fighting it and saying, okay, I'm going to wear my mask and I'm going to behave myself on the airplane. Instead, we're going to act like a bunch of idiots. Okay. All right. So anyway, but Spirit and Frontier decided to merge. Spirit flies a lot of flights out of they fly some flights out of Pittsburgh International. Their main hub is one of their hubs is Atlantic City. That's the only airline that flies out of there, and the only major airline that flies out of Arnold Palmer Latrobe Airport. But you know what? With Frontier merging now, you never know. Frontier might throw something in there from Latrobe Airport, which is expanding once again, which is great. Pittsburgh International's downsizing the airport. They're right-sizing it more or less. So Spirit and Frontier's future can only be great and better, which is great. Two discount airlines merging. It's not a bad thing. All right. That's the way I see it tonight. NTSB issued a preliminary report on the collapsed bridge that just happened here in Pittsburgh. Some preliminary report it was. I think they did it just to get rid of the media because what they had to say was nothing that I probably wouldn't have suspected. The concrete was eroded from the salt, the rock salt. The span itself was in bad condition. It was failed on inspection, 3 out of 4 categories in September. Certain weight restrictions should have been put on the bridge and were not. Okay. So there's your preliminary report from the NTSB. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Okay, because you're telling me something I probably already know. And everyone else already knows. Okay? Because it didn't take a genius to figure that out. All right? All right, we're going to get moving on some of our other topics here tonight on the way I see it. My name's Ralph Williams. Those of you first-time watchers and listeners, I have a show here called The Way I See It. I do this podcast once a week, every Friday night. Usually it's at 7, but me and my dumbness here, I forgot to push the go live button here to go live on YouTube here. So everybody that was waiting at 7 o'clock is probably saying, Ralph, you're a liar. No, I just forgot, and we're here now. We're going to be here till about 9 o'clock. All right. Pittsburgh Public Schools, well, you know, they have egg on their face. They've been in the spotlight, walking on eggshells, if you want to call it that, or whatever you want to call it. They have some security problems in the schools they need to fix. Yeah, here's how they're fixing them. Oh, We need to come up with some programs that'll help these kids, because if not, they're going to continue. Well, first of all, we have bad parenting out here. And well, of course, all you folks on the school board there have no idea what parents are like now. Okay, they're friends to their kids. They're not parents. Okay, your discipline program sucks. It does. It sucks. Okay, and I'll say that again because it's the truth. All right. Oh, we got to get. I've watched your board meetings. We got to get this. Uh, we got to get this disciplinary program together. But we'll create some programs so that we can help them. No. You want to help them? You want to get the schools in order? Put some armed guards in there. Wands, metal detectors, every school. Not one school, every school. Armed guards in there. That's right. Treat it like a prison. Okay? Teachers getting hit in the head, and then they go to stop the kid, and they get suspended. What's wrong with this picture, everybody? This is where America is scared. We're going to get sued. The parents aren't going to like it. Well, put it in the lap of the parents. Start fining them again. Start sending them to court. Start putting them in jail. I watched an episode today of Law and Order, the original. Okay? And our Adam Schiff was the DA, and he says to Jack McCoy, there's a law here in New York that states that if a kid under a parent's supervision, okay, commits a crime, the parents can be charged too. Because it's their responsibility to make sure that this child doesn't do this stuff. There's no responsibility of the parent anymore. It's gone. It's over with. And a classic example here, I see parents on the news. Oh, I sat down with my child and I consulted with him, and little Johnny, he don't want to wear his mask in school. No, You're wearing that mask, boy. You're going to school. You don't wear that mask, no Xbox. And I'll throw the Xbox out the window. I'll hit it with a hammer, or I'll smash it down. Okay? That's parenting. Not, I got to sit down with my kid and I have to consult with them. That's bad parenting, okay? Bottom line, that's bad parenting. And you know it out there, and you're a parent. And you know what? I don't care if you hate me for saying it. That's bad parenting. All right? When the school teacher gets hit by a kid and the teacher goes to break it up and he gets suspended for touching the kid. Breaking up a fight because there's not enough security. There's not enough of discipline, because the disciplinary policy of the school district is, we can't put them in detention. Oh no, parents will get mad if we put them in detention. Oh, we don't have enough staff for detention. That's right. This is why nobody wants to be a teacher, and this is why nobody wants to be a policeman, because they're under the radar too much. Universities and colleges are saying that there's no attendance at all, hardly, for teaching degrees. You know why? Because of this. People used to enjoy. I would love to go to college if I had the money and become a teacher. You enjoy it because you want to help kids. You want to teach kids how to learn so they can go out in life and do things, have a better life. You can't do that now because of parents, because of weak school districts, because of weak policies. This is why nothing gets done with that. And now you have Pittsburgh public school teachers who are leaving early from their jobs, the great resignation, and going to work at a Target or something, making just as much money as they make teaching, because that's what Target's paying nowadays in some places, okay? Because they can't deal with it anymore. And that's sad. You work your butt off to get a degree. You pay all that money for student loan, for college, or whatever. Time. Time and money are two things you don't waste. But yeah, when you're a teacher, you waste them because teachers can't do their jobs. Because the administrations in these school districts won't let them. And guess who suffers? The kids. And that's why the kids are what they are today. And nobody holds parents accountable. None. They don't care. It all boils down to nothing. It just does. It boils down to nothing. All right. States lifting the mask bans. That's beginning to become confusing because what's happening now is that the school districts want to be able to create their own. And some states are letting school districts create their own mask policies. And now everybody's confused. Nobody knows whether their kid has to wear a mask to school because the school district says they do, but then the dictator governor of the state, like ours, says you still have to. Okay? Because he's not living on planet Earth. He doesn't see that the economy needs to be fixed. Rates of COVID are going down. Okay? All right? People are now starting to go out and get their shots. Some people are going out and getting jobs because they're tired of laying around. Okay? But you still got the majority of these people out here that are still doing it. They're still being lazy like they were last year. And it's continued. Our country's scared, our country's lazy, and our country has nothing. It all boils down to nothing. Nobody cares to help anybody out, as I said before. All right. Cars slamming into buildings. You know, this is another reason why I don't go out when it snows. One reason is because I was in an accident. In April of last year, my fiance and I, and I'm sure you probably heard this story a few times, we're coming home from church. Monty Thursday service. I was the liturgist, or else we would have watched it online. Okay? But my service to God was to be liturgist that day. All right, so I go to church. I'm on my way home, and there's ice all over the road on the road that I'm on my way traveling home. I'm sliding on this ice, and fortunately for me, I know what to do when it's icy out and how to brake and shift into a lower gear. I was taught how to do that. I'm a very good driver. I had a CDL at one time. I drove a cab for 15 years. I'm a good driver. Okay? The accident is why I don't drive in the snow. When we had the accident, I had this young girl get out who hit us to show me her insurance card. She's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is she's on, going laughing and giggling, thinks it's funny, and it really isn't. Thinks it's funny, but she got into some kind of an accident. She's smiling and giggling. Oh, you know what? I got to show you this, man. This is my first accident. In the meantime, I'm sitting there in pain because I'm always in pain because of my handicap and my health and condition. Okay? My fiance is partially disabled as well, and she's in pain. Then to top it all off, the ambulance that was there was worried about more crucially injured people. You know what they told us? They can't get any more ambulances up through the ice. So in order for us to go to the hospital, we had to drive ourselves. So the cars that were in front of us that were stopped, they were able to get them out of the way with some tow trucks because they couldn't move because of the ice and the snow. All right, so anyway, I drive myself to the hospital and I have an infection, and I'm not going to tell you where it is, but I have an infection. It recurred because of this accident. I was in a hospital for a few days. All right. I'm not going to go through that again because somebody has to be an idiot. All them cars that hit me, they all were speeding. Every one of them come flying sideways down the hill because they weren't paying attention, or they just speed and don't care. That's why I don't drive in the snow anymore. I can, but I will not. And now you got people who are riding into these businesses. Why? Because they're on the cell phone. Why? Because they're not paying attention. Why? Because they're drunk. They're high. They take too many prescription pills and they're sleepy and they're behind the wheel of a car. Or whatever other reasons why. Okay? That's why I don't drive in the snow. I don't mean to be negative. I don't even like to drive now because it gets out of control. People out here, especially the younger generation, don't know how to drive. And it's disgusting. And the state don't do anything about it. Oh, God forbid if a Pittsburgh police officer ever pulls somebody over for anything. They don't even want them doing that. That's another subject for another day. We have a new mayor. He's looking into that. He's got committees formed to look into everything. And the police are one of them. All right. Firefighters in the city of Pittsburgh are now allowed to live out of town. You know, I really don't like that idea, but the police are doing it. So now the firefighters want to do it now. I think they should live in the city. So you service, you work for the city, you provide a service for the city. You should live in the city. I would love to have a firefighter as a neighbor, or I have a battalion chief whose aunt lives in this building, and he comes in to bring her food and help her out. He's a battalion chief. He has the key to the alarm system here. He's here whenever the alarm goes off. I love having that guy. And he lives in the city of Pittsburgh. Okay? Why can't you live in the city? You provide a service. You should live here. You should be here. Okay? But no, you want to live out of the city. Okay? What? There's good neighborhoods here. I know taxes are a little high. I know some of the houses are not very good. I know there's, but that's everywhere. Okay? But that's what the firefighters are doing now, and probably what's going to happen next is there's going to be the paramedics are going to be next, and the public works people are going to be next. That's what's going to happen because the police and fire are doing it now. Okay? I think they're allowed to live 1 or 2 miles outside the city and not more. That way they can get here when they need to, but they want to live somewhere else. That's fine. But our services are get neglected when people aren't around. That's why you have a policeman living on your block. Okay? That's the way I see that tonight, the way I see it. Government shutdown. Here we go again. Every single year, Congress and the Senate can't agree, and the president can't agree on a government shutdown, on a budget. And we have to have yet another government shutdown. Why? Well, that's because, we're going to vote against the budget and shut the government down, lay people off in an already bad economy because Joe Biden wants to have an infrastructure package and we don't want to vote for it. We'll vote for the budget if he gets rid of the infrastructure package. You got Mitch McConnell, that's not good. That's not right. The president and Nancy Pelosi, he can't even talk. All right, Mitch, you need to retire. You can't even talk. All right. I don't understand anything you say. All right. Because you talk like you got marbles in your mouth. But you're going to sit there and criticize everything that goes on. Okay. Here's again what I said before is part of the problem. Nobody wants to do anything. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing to do with nothing. Nobody wants to see the economy get back. You got truck drivers on strike. You got people don't want to work because they want to get shots. You got employers acting like jerks. Nothing. Scared, lazy. It's all three now. and it's getting worse and worse instead of better. But we can make it better. I gave you some examples earlier. Go get rock salt and a shovel. Don't quit. Stop complaining about your street not getting plowed. Do something about it. Help yourself, because it's no use complaining. It's going to get done, but you're going to have to wait because Ed Gainey just got here. He's our mayor. He just started. Leave him alone. Let him do his job. He'll do a better job than our last mayor. All right. That's my opinion on government shutdown, because it all boils down to nothing, and it all boils down to, scared and lazy. It's all in one category, everybody, and that's the way it is right now. 900,000 people died of COVID. 900,000 who didn't want to go out and get shots, who didn't care, who acted like our prior president, didn't care. Just, I'll go play golf. Who cares? Let it ride out. Let it work on its own. But it all boils down to, again, I don't want the government telling me what to do. Well, that's because the government wouldn't, if you would take a responsibility, which again, nobody has any in their life, take the responsibility and go get your shots. Then the government wouldn't have to be involved. Do you ever think that it takes two to tango here? You blame the government, but it's your own fault, because you are the one who is not going out and getting a shot, and you're the one who doesn't care about whether or not, because you're worried about that. Okay? And as I said before, you pay taxes. Government tells you have to. Okay? Government wouldn't have to be involved if you would pay your taxes. Now, would they? But they have to police it because you don't pay your taxes. They have to police this because it's a health crisis, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to help yourself. You don't know how to be responsible. That's where it all goes here, everybody. That's what's going on right now. All right. The former Kennywood ride, in case a lot of you don't know, we have an amusement park here called Kennywood. It's a nice place to go. It's a nice family-size amusement park, almost like Windermere and Erie and a few other places. They have some very nice rides that have made the top 10 Coaster Enthusiast Awards, or some of their roller coasters. It's a very nice park. Well, they had a ride there years ago called the Laser Loop. All it did was just go around a loop and then back again, and that was it. It was done. But everybody loved it. I don't know why I didn't. I thought it was a waste of a ride. Well, the Laser Loop got removed, and they put the Steel Phantom in. Then they slowed the Steel Phantom down and made it into Phantom's Revenge, because they were getting sued because too many people were getting neck injuries from the intenseness of the ride. Still, the Phantom's Revenge still made it in the top 10 of Coasters Enthusiasts. The Thunderbolt, many years ago, was one of the top, it still is, one of the top wooden roller coasters in this country. One of the faster ones. There's a few fast ones out there. Cedar Point had one, they tore it down. It's called the Mean Street. I rode it. It was great. It was fast on a wooden track. So anyway, the Laser Loop was in Mexico for a while. Just made its way back to the United States. It's at Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World up in Niagara Falls, New York. And that's where the Laser Loop has made its new home. That's the way I see it tonight. All right, I have a few announcements for you tonight here on The Way I See It as we get ready to wrap up. We have the Sunday version of The Way I See It in Sports Corner has been moved to Monday night at 7 p.m. because of the Super Bowl. So 7 p.m. start time, live on Facebook. Me, Sports Corner, 7 o'clock, 7:30, The Way I See It. We blast Chinese wisdom, and we have topics. That's how that works. It's only 30 minutes. This podcast has an hour. I'm going to be working with Mark Mancini Productions from LA. I'm going to be on Mancini Media, and I'm going to be also on some national programs. My shows are going national, and I'm into some other projects as well with Mark. So I just want to let you know things are moving along. Also, we have the TV version of The Way I See It. It's on a rotating schedule on PCTV, channel 21 in Pittsburgh on Comcast, channel 47 Verizon cable, also in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. Outside of Allegheny County and around the country and all over the place, you can watch my show on PCTV's Facebook page. It's on there as well. All right, all the time. You can always watch it there. So no excuse. And here on Friday nights, here 7 p.m. Usually we're late tonight because I made a mistake. We're usually here at 7 live on YouTube here. The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams, Friday nights. Tuesdays, 7 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, 8 o'clock, not 7, 8 o'clock. On here on YouTube. Sports Corner. But this week, this coming week coming up, we'll be on Wednesday because I had to move the Facebook part to Monday. All right, so it'll be Wednesday, 8 o'clock. All right. Don't worry, Chicago PD's not coming back on until the following week with their new episodes. So you have an opportunity to watch me on Wednesday night. All right. No excuse not to catch The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. No excuse at all. I'm everywhere. TV, podcast, Facebook. No excuse. No matter where you are, catch me because you won't regret it. I say it the way I see it, the way I feel it. And I like it that way. Also coming up February 28th, Monday night, 6 p.m. Nothing like this. Nothing at all. It's the very first time on live TV in the Pittsburgh area or anywhere. The local Pittsburgh sports year in review spectacular. And I have a panel for you that's going to make your head spin. Watch it. You can even participate live. It's live. There'll be a phone number for you to call. Tune in 6 p.m. PCTV channel 21 Comcast, channel 47 Verizon, Roku TV, Fire Stick, and Apple TV is also, you can catch it there. And on PCTV's Facebook page live. And PCTV has an app you can put in your phone. So again, if you're on the road and you don't want to go into the grocery store because it's boring for you, and you're just sit in the car and wait, you can watch the show while you wait. All right. Well, Sports Corner is not going to happen. This is supposed to be the redo of the live call-in show from February 3rd that was canceled because of bad weather. Well, I changed it. We all changed it. It's going to be the Year in Sports Review Spectacular, and my panel will be from Steel City Sports World, Luther Dupree, Smokin' Jim Frazier, and the Hall of Famer Claudio Rosano. They also do the show Boxing Authorities. What three guys to have on the panel. And next, even though he's last to be announced on the panel, he's still great. He has a great show, along with Smokin' Jim Frazier, who's also my co-host on Sports Corner on the TV version. All right. Alan Levine, the talking machine from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, and Bethel Park Access TV. He has a show called Pittsburgh Sports Line. He's been doing it for a long time. He is going to be on the panel as well. There'll be 5 of us on the panel, and we're going to talk about the Steelers, the Pirates, the Penguins, and the Pitt Athletic Department for football and basketball programs and high school football. Because there's been some changes and a lot of things and some screwing going on in high school football in this area. And we're going to discuss that happened last year. And what the Steelers are going to do this year and what happened last year. The Pirates, also the Penguins. The Pirates, will the baseball strike ever stop? Or the lockout? We'll talk about it Monday, February 28th, 6 p.m. 412-231-2288 is the number. You can participate live. I expect to see you there for the only TV spectacular that does a sports year in review in Pittsburgh. And it's coming up Monday, February 28th, 6 p.m. Have an early dinner and participate and get involved in this in the sports spectacular. I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a pleasure tonight here on YouTube Live to present to you the way I see it. Everybody have a good night and be safe. See you next week right here, 7 p.m. Have a good night. God bless. Be safe.